All right, so for this lesson, we are going to be going over catalogs, and specifically, we'll be discussing core catalogs, chief architect bonus catalogs, manufacturer catalogs, and user catalogs, and what exactly they are. So first of all, these are going to be located in your library browser. So if we were to look at your chief architect, you're going to come over here and you'll see this symbol in various locations, but specifically maybe to the right hand side, you're going to see what looks like a stack of books, and this is your library browser. So again, you can come over here and tools. You should be able to, oh, here you go, view, and then library browser. So you can see that there is a hotkey set up where you can hit Control L at the same time, or if you have a Mac, most likely it's Command L, and the library browser will pop up. That is unless you've decided to edit this and change the hotkey somehow. So that being said, that within the library browser, there's this search option that you can use to be able to search and filter things. And then the various folder and catalog types include the core catalog. So this is what, it doesn't matter if you have bonus catalogs or manufacturer catalogs. These are the basic ones that are downloaded when you install Chief. You can actually come in here, and we can actually come in here and update your library catalogs by clicking library, update library catalogs. If you think that yours might be old, or if you have any kind of bonus content or manufacturer catalogs, and this will do the same thing with your core catalog. So you can see it scrolling down at the bottom here. And then you can click on, if for some reason you're not seeing Chief Architect core catalogs and you're not seeing these various folders, what you're going to want to do is click on install core catalog or core content. And what's in here is you'll see architectural. You're going to see that they have like basic appliances that are good for just kind of like placeholders if maybe you don't have something specific selected. They have doors and doorways, so you know they've got different garage doors, different entryway systems. So these are all like mold units, and these are all things that I'll cover as to being able to make your own. And then you have different door styles as well, so you can see the different styles here. I'm going to change this view to vector so you can kind of see what that looks like. And these are the different rendering views. So if you have any questions about that, then you can just jump to that section. But you can see, you know, this is where you can get some different lighting options. But most of these are things that you can, again, kind of search for in the filters, and that can pop up. You'll also see that there's different fill patterns, and what that is like just different patterns in general. Oops. And then there are plants and shapes, and when it's interiors, you'll see that they've got different furniture in here. That's different, that's loaded. And again, this is just the core catalog, so these are just the basics. Once you have those installed, what you can do is you can actually download Chief Architect bonus catalogs and manufacturer catalogs. And the way that you would do this is you can come over here to library, and you can click on get additional content online. Whoops. And when we do that, you can see where it says log in to download. And this is where you can get multiple things. So there is a ton of cabinetry options. So you can click on cabinets. And the thing to note, especially if you're coming from like 2020 or whatnot, when Chief Architect provides cabinets, what you're essentially getting are the doors and drawer styles along with colors. So it's up to you as the designer to know the different cabinet lines and know how that they constructed any kind of special ways that they frame it, any of those details, because the only thing that is really specified within these are the door and drawer styles. So that's just something to be aware of. They may have different molding profiles, different pilasters, things like that, but overall it's your responsibility to know how the cabinet box and whatnot is manufactured by each manufacturer or vendor. So within that, you can see there's multiple different options here. If you're seeing SSA only, what that means is that you have to be up to date on your SSA, or most likely if you're a subscribed licensee, so if you're paying monthly, then you do have your SSA. So I am paying for this, so that's why I have this option. You will see some of these items you still have to pay for, so that's just something to be aware of. Most likely they're newer and they're trying to get some money back for them. So you can see in here they also have accessories. So these would be considered bonus catalogs, just these overall ones, versus manufacturers are the ones that are, as you can see, actual manufacturer catalogs. So there's items in here, so fixtures and appliances. You can see there's bathroom fixtures, but then you also have the ability to download like Brizo or Delta, or there's Kohler in here. Generally the higher end line of appliances are also in here. And then there's also GE, which makes that really nice for if you're kind of that in between. So essentially you could come in and there is also a ton of furniture, so that's nice to be aware of if you don't want to have to pay for a ton of them. But as you can see, a lot of their furniture lines you have to pay for now, so that's just something to be aware of. The other thing I am going to call out, this Wayfair Trade. They have some really great options in here. The one thing I will note is that there is one item, at least one item in this collection, I haven't figured it out exactly which it is, that will lag your computer quite a bit. So that's just something to be aware of. And then there's other things like millwork, so you can see there's different ways to bring the newel posts and finishes for stairs. And then they have the Windsor 1 profiles. And then materials and surfaces, so they have the full Benjamin Moore paints, along with quite a few other finishes. So this is just something that's really nice and handy to know that it's here, and you might as well use it because it's going to save you a whole lot of time. And then when it comes down to your user catalog, this is where my note is going to say make sure that yours is very well organized from the start. And the reason that I say that is because mine is not, because I am actually relatively self-taught, and I was not aware of the folder option. So what you can do is you can come over here, right click after you click on this, and you can go to new and click on folder, and you can start adding folders as need be, and you can organize them however you want. So I've had some clients do it by project, which can be really helpful if maybe you are having path issues or textures issues between team members. By doing it this way, then you can always just save your user catalog, and what you can do, or export it, and all you'd have to do is right click, click new, or click export library, and then save it into wherever you would want to be saving that as a company. But to give you an example, mine is highly disorganized, and since we started building different items as well, it just kind of turned into this rabbit hole of catalogs that just keep going. So you can see I have a user catalog, and then I have a user catalog and a user catalog, and it's just a mess. So the biggest thing I'm going to say is stay organized from the very start. Figure out how you want to organize, how you think about your projects and using materials. And just because you have it by project doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have access to it for other ones. So for example, if we were to come over here and I were to type wallpaper in here, you can see I've got some different wallpapers that I've built for materials. But then if I were to go down other catalogs, it's like a never ending list of wallpapers, right? So it just comes down to organizing it from the very, very start. As for bringing items in, it's going to be the same no matter whether you're bringing in a user catalog from somebody else, a manufacturer catalog, or even a bonus catalog. What you would do is, so if we were to say, let's download one of these guys. So we'll come over here. I'm going to download this. I have to log in first, it looks like. That's always fun to show. And we're going to come in here and I'm going to click on free, click on the X15 or whatever version you're using. You can't go back, so you can always go forward. So you can see down here now in my window, you can see I have this Calypse file. So if I wanted to install this, all I have to do, whether it's grab it from here or if I want to grab it from my downloads folder. So to give you an idea, this is my downloads folder, right? What I can do is, for example, I can also download a few other ones, right? So let's just say, just as an example, so you can see how much time you can save. Rather than going through this whole thing of like importing each individual one, a huge time saver is to actually go through and figure out exactly what you want to start. So let's say that we're going to do some materials. So I'll download this guy and I will download this quartz. All right, so now I have four catalogs here. You can see them also listed over here on my downloads folder. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight these guys, just what I want to download or install. I'm going to hold down my mouse and I'm going to just bring it over, and you can see the plus copy sign right here as I drag my mouse. I'm going to drop it in, and now they are automatically installed. So you can see it's coming in and telling me that they're being installed. And this is the same thing with the user catalog. Otherwise, what you might see is if you're looking at other videos, they may be telling you to import and then come in here and import a catalog this way. So you can see I actually haven't done this in so long. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I don't know. I would say just do the drag and drop, because that is going to save you so much time. And after you do that, you do not need to save unless you've maybe paid for one that's not associated with the Chief Architect website. You do not need to save the user catalogs or any of the catalogs you download. As long as you have the SSA program, you will always have access to those. Again, unless you buy it from like a third-party site, like my website, for example, when our catalogs are back up again. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any other questions. Make sure to comment and ask as you need to in the Slack channel. So thanks a lot.